Arguably, one of my traits or one of my things that I did and I got all my companies to do is I always tested everything to fail. Like I've stated before, I was taking steam vessels down to crush depth inside the ocean for a long time. Very long time, way before anybody actually even knew it. In fact, if I remember right, they were using sailboats to take steam vessels down to see how deep they could go before they crushed, and then building a better steam vessel based on that. Later on, I took my steam vessels always to fail. After they wouldn't crush it down the ocean, down to the deepest part of the ocean, I was like, okay, well, they won't crush there, so let's see if we can get them to cook off. So they pressure tested them until they did explode with a very large explosion. I told everyone to get back. I don't know if they got back far enough, but yeah. But basically, one of my things is with light bulbs, with the pressure vessels. Anytime in history, back in time, you heard about anybody testing anything until it failed, well, that'd be me or one of my people or somebody working under my direction. Because basically everything, the steam vessels, the engines, even the aircrafts themselves, testing to fail was my thing. It's what I did. It's how I knew what they could take. And I wouldn't put anything out in the public until I knew that where it would fail. Because, it's just not my way. My way was to test to fail. It was my motto, practically. Test it until it breaks and then try and make it better and sell what you got. It was my thing. All my steam vessels, my cars, everything. The Rolls-Royce Merlin engines, the light bulbs, everything, even the Billings themselves. They shelled Billings to see what Billings could take. And then they built them and then said maximum occupancy or maximum weight based on that. Everything. If it was built in the 1800s or 1900s or anything that I ever touched, even the nuclear reactors themselves, they tested them until they failed, basically. Found out what really did happen when you emptied out all the water. They did it inside a controlled, sealed mountaintop, but still, they tested it until it failed, and then they saw what it did, and then tried to work on how to keep that from happening. Everything. The ships themselves, everything. There wasn't, so like I say, 1800, 1900, 1700, probably even 1500, any time in any human record that you hear where in the beginning of the time how someone tested it until it failed, that's me or my people. That's how I was. That's what I did. So anyway, testing it to fail took on different kinds of things because, the only thing that ever got me that I didn't anticipate was the expansion or the stress cracking of the steam vessels. That they had a lifespan. I didn't really realize that, and one of them actually did fail without prior warning. It just failed, which was bad, I think. I'm not exactly sure how it went down or exactly what happened. I know the first steam explosion, I think, was actually me. I told them to blow it up. Probably a mistake. I don't know. No one was near, I don't think. Not exactly sure how it went down, but one of them did fail without... I forget exactly where it was. I think it was actually at one of the Auschwitz where the Libyans were working, I think. That pressure vessel failed without anybody knowing, without warning. There were a couple of failures, and then I kind of switched it around to where they started doing inspections, and they tried to figure out why it failed, and and I put the Germans on it or somebody on it to try and see stress cracks or the cracks, and that's how they got the radiology and all that. I funded that, so that's how that went down. So anyway, though, but that's even the subs themselves. The U-boats, they put an unmanned U-boat in the water and basically took it down till it did crush, and then brought it back up and went, oh look, that's the point at which it crushes. Cool, now we know. So brand new U-boat, I'm pretty sure, or nearly new U-boat, just went bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, it crushed. I think they would listen in to the sound of the water or whatever, and when they hear the clunk, or they got good at knowing when something crushed, so then they would pull it back up. Okay, yeah. I think they were listening to the water saying too. There are some things in that. Anyway, though, but yeah, that was like my my motto. Test it till it failed. So anyway, yep. Should be really well known, really, because it was like my thing. Yeah, I had a lot of things, and that was one of them. So, and also keeping people safe.